My brother uninvited me from his wedding because I'd embarrassed them after I spent months planning and paying for everything. I said, good luck without me, then canceled every vendor, took a trip to Japan, and moved overseas while their perfect wedding collapsed live in their group chats. Hey Reddit, my family always treated my brother like royalty and me like the free labor. I finally said screw it, built my own life, and walked away. But of course, they weren't done taking advantage yet. So, here's how it all went down from the start. I plan weddings for a living. Corporate events too. Galas, conferences, product launches. If it needs coordination and someone's willing to pay for flawless execution, I'm the guy they call. 7 years in. Started as an assistant coordinator right out of college, worked my way up to senior planner at one of the better firms in the city. I'm good at what I do. Good enough that clients request me by name and venues give me preferred rates because they know I won't make their lives hell. So when my brother Connor announced he was getting married, everyone in the family had the same immediate reaction. I should plan it. Not help, not advise. Plan the entire thing, top to bottom. Connor and his fiancée Victoria had a massive vision. Elegant venue, seated dinner for 130 guests, live music, premium everything. They'd been engaged 8 months and had managed to save about $11,000. Their dream wedding was going to cost around 38 grand. They were short by roughly 27,000. We were having lunch when Connor laid out the situation. He didn't ask directly. He never does. He just talked about how stressed Victoria was, how they might have to wait 2 more years, how her parents couldn't help because of medical bills. Classic Connor. Never asks, just builds the guilt trap and waits for you to step in. We'd grown up with very different roles. Connor was the golden child, charismatic, slippery, always landing on his feet. Every mistake was a lesson, every mediocre achievement treated like a triumph. Me? I was the responsible one, the one who handled everything alone, the one who got lectured when things went wrong and a polite nod when things went right. But despite all of that, he was still my brother, and I genuinely wanted him to be happy. There was also the London thing. My company had offered me a promotion, senior events director, bigger salary, bigger title, full relocation package. I hadn't told the family yet. I knew exactly how they'd react. They'd guilt me. They'd make it about them. They always did. Part of me thought that if I did something major for Connor first, something generous, it would soften the blow when I finally told them. Maybe earn enough goodwill to make my own choice without a family meltdown. Stupid reasoning. But that's where my head was. So I made the offer. I'd plan and pay for the entire wedding. My gift to them. Connor lit up like I'd handed him the winning lottery ticket. He immediately called Victoria. She started screaming on the phone. Within an hour, my mom, my dad, even Aunt Linda were calling to praise me for being so generous, selfless, such a good brother. And yeah, the validation felt good. Finally felt like I was the important one. The next week, Connor and Victoria came over and we started planning. I opened my laptop, my master template, and we got to work. They wanted Riverside Estate, waterfront venue, indoor-outdoor setup, holds 200 guests. I'd coordinated 3 weddings there before. Knew the staff, the logistics, exactly how to make it run smoothly. Catering through Bellamy and Cohen, they did excellent work and owed me a favor from a corporate event I'd saved last year. Florals by Garden Theory. I'd worked with the owner on probably 15 events. She trusted my vision and gave me professional rates. Photography and videography through a guy named Adrian who'd shot 2 of my events. Solid work, reliable, knew how to stay out of the way. DJ through Soundwave Productions. I'd used them dozens of times. Everything went through me. Every contract, every deposit, every vendor communication. The vendors all knew me professionally, and when Connor and Victoria said they wanted me to handle everything, the vendors were happy to work with someone they trusted. Put everything under my name as the primary contact and contract holder. Made the whole process smoother. Connor and Victoria basically just picked options from the choices I presented. Want chicken or fish? Want roses or peonies? Want this song or that song? I handled the real work. Permits, insurance certificates, timeline coordination, vendor management, contingency planning, payment schedules, the actual professional event planning that makes things run smooth. Total cost came to about $37,000 after my professional discounts. I paid every deposit from my business account, everything locked in under my name and my authority. The planning took about 6 weeks of real work, nights and weekends on top of my regular job, creating spreadsheets, confirming timelines, coordinating deliveries, building the minute-by-minute wedding day schedule. I built them a complete planning binder, vendor contacts, contracts, payment schedules, setup diagrams, contingency protocols, professional-grade documentation. Connor and Victoria loved it. kept posting about their dream wedding on social media, kept thanking me every time I saw them. My parents kept telling people their son, the event planner, was putting together this incredible wedding. Bragging rights. Everything was on track. 4 months of planning. Venue locked. Vendors confirmed. Invitations sent. Then, about a month before the wedding, things started feeling off. Victoria stopped responding to my planning check-ins. Connor started giving vague answers when I asked about final details. They canceled 2 meetings where we were supposed to finalize the day of timeline. I figured they were just overwhelmed. Wedding stress. Normal stuff. Then 3 weeks before the wedding, Connor called and asked if we could meet for coffee. Said it was important. I showed up at the cafe thinking maybe they wanted to add something last minute. Maybe change the menu or upgrade the bar package. Connor sat down across from me and didn't make eye contact for about 30 seconds. His face had this weird expression. Not quite a smile, but definitely smug. Like he was about to deliver news he thought made him look good. Then he said, "So Victoria's parents are really anxious about the wedding. They're very traditional and very focused on how things look to their social circle. And they're worried about certain optics." I waited. "They've been asking questions about you, about your role. And we told them you're really busy with work and probably can't make it. We said we're handling everything ourselves. But if you're actually there, at the ceremony, in the photos, getting thanked in speeches, that whole story falls apart. Someone's going to mention you planned it, or paid for it, and then we look like liars. So you lied to them about me. We managed expectations, and now we need you to not be there so the story holds up." I just stared at him. "You're uninviting me so your lie to your in-laws doesn't get exposed. It's not a lie. It's just presenting things in a certain way. And what about the rehearsal dinner? Won't I expose your story there too? The rehearsal is just family. Victoria's parents won't be there. They're doing their own thing that night. So that's fine. It's the actual wedding and reception where we need you to not show up. No photos, no acknowledgements, nothing that contradicts what we told them. I planned this entire wedding, Connor. I paid for everything. Every vendor answers to me. And you're telling me I can't attend because you lied to Victoria's parents about who did all the work. It's not about the lie. It's about managing their expectations and maintaining the image Victoria needs with her family. So you take my money, take my work, tell your in-laws it was all you, and then exclude me so nobody finds out the truth." Connor's jaw tightened. The smug look disappeared. "You're being difficult. This is our wedding. We get to decide who attends. And you decided I don't fit the image you're selling to your new in-laws. Can you not make this about you? This is supposed to be our day, our moment. We're asking you to do one thing for us. Just stay home that day. That's it. Right. And I'm just the credit card with legs that needs to stay hidden." Connor's face flushed. "Who else knows about this? Mom and Dad. They get it. They said you'd understand because you're good at being practical. They agreed to this. They said it makes sense given the situation with Victoria's parents." I stood up. "Where are you going?" "Home." "So you're good with this?" I looked at him. "Yeah, Connor, I'm good." I walked out without another word. Got in my car, drove home, sat in my parking spot for 20 minutes, just staring at the steering wheel. Then I went inside, opened my laptop, and pulled up every vendor contract in my system. I spent that night going through every single piece of documentation I had for Connor's wedding. Every contract, every email, every receipt, every confirmation. Contract holder, my name. Primary contact, my name. Payment source, my business account. Authority to make changes, contract holder only. The vendors knew me professionally. They didn't know Connor or Victoria. Every conversation had been with me. Every decision had been approved by me. Every signature on every document was mine. I pulled up the cancellation policies, read them carefully. Most events at this scale have pretty brutal cancellation terms. Within 30 days, you're looking at losing deposits plus penalties. Within 2 weeks, you're basically paying for everything. But here's the key detail. The person with authority to cancel is the contract holder, not the clients. The contract holder, that was me. I opened a new spreadsheet and started documenting everything. Every vendor, every contract number, every cancellation policy, every refund term. Built a complete map of what would happen if I pulled the plug. Then I just sat there thinking. My phone buzzed. Text from my mom. "Connor told me about the wedding situation. I know you're disappointed, but please try to see their side. Victoria's parents are very concerned about appearances, and we don't want to start the marriage off with tension. You understand, right?" Not a question. A statement. I didn't respond. Another text 5 minutes later. "Please don't make this difficult, sweetheart. It's just one day. You can still be part of everything else." Everything else. Like I was being offered a consolation prize. I closed my phone and looked at my laptop screen, at the vendor list, at the contracts, at the power I didn't even realize I had. My cousin Ethan called around 10 p.m. He was the one person in the family who'd always been straight with me. 10 years older, lived across the country, had his own issues with how the family operated. Heard about the wedding thing. News travels fast. Your mom called my mom. Who called me? Wanted me to call you and convince you to be cool about it. And are you going to convince me? No. I'm calling to tell you that's the most disrespectful thing I've heard in a while, and you should do whatever you need to do. First person all day who didn't tell me to just accept it. They're worried I'll tell Victoria's parents the truth about who paid for everything. They should be, because it makes them look like exactly what they are. Users. Mom said I'm being difficult. Mom said that when I set boundaries with Dad too. That's her go-to move. Guilt and dismissal. We talked for about an hour. Ethan had been through his own version of family dysfunction. Different details, same pattern. Golden child versus scapegoat. Unconditional support versus conditional tolerance. Before we hung up, he said, "Whatever you decide to do, I'm in your corner. Need anything? Call me. Need backup? I'll fly out." Having one person who actually got it made the decision easier. I opened my email and started drafting messages to vendors. Didn't send them. Just drafted them. Professional language. Contract authority. Cancellation requests. Then I opened my work email and looked at the London offer. The one I'd been avoiding for weeks because of family guilt and obligation conditioning. The offer was good for another 2 weeks. After that, it would go to someone else. I read through it again. Senior Events Director. Salary bump of 40%. Full relocation package. Start date in 6 weeks. I'd been hesitating because of family. Because leaving felt like abandoning them. Because Connor was getting married and Mom was getting older and Dad had health issues, and leaving felt selfish. But sitting there at 11 p.m. after being uninvited from a wedding I'd planned and paid for, the guilt started looking different. Started looking like manipulation. I drafted an acceptance email. Didn't send it. Just drafted it. Then I closed my laptop and went to bed. The next morning I got a text from Victoria. First direct contact from her about the situation. "Hey, I know Connor talked to you about the guest list. I just want you to know this is really hard for us too. My parents think we're paying for and planning everything ourselves, and if you're there, that story falls apart. We can't risk someone thanking you publicly or you being in family photos where my parents would see. I know it seems unfair, but we need you to stay away from the ceremony and reception. I hope you understand." I read that 3 times. We can't risk someone thanking you publicly. She really wrote that. Really sent that. I didn't respond. 2 days later, Connor texted asking if I could coordinate a last-minute vendor meeting about timeline details. Some photographer wanted to adjust the shot list. I forwarded the message to Ethan with no comment. He called immediately. "You seeing this?" "Yeah. They're still expecting you to coordinate everything. Apparently. What are you going to do?" "Handle it. Document everything. Let them think it's fine. You're going through with the cancellations. Every single one." Over the next week, I kept getting requests. Connor asking about vendor confirmation. Victoria's mom wanting to review the seating chart. Connor's best man Chris needing rehearsal dinner details. Every request got handled. Every request got documented. Every interaction added to the file I was building. I saw my parents twice that week. Both times they acted like nothing was wrong. Like uninviting me from the wedding was just a normal logistical adjustment. My dad actually said, "Glad you're being flexible about this. Shows real maturity." Maturity. That's what we're calling it. Aunt Linda called to say she heard I wasn't attending and wanted to make sure I wasn't upset because sometimes we have to put family harmony first. My cousin Bethany posted something vague on social media about people who can't be happy for others' joy. She'd heard the story third hand and decided to make it about social media drama. Uncle Paul sent a long text saying, "I'm sure Connor didn't mean to hurt you. He's just trying to keep the peace with Victoria's family. Try to see it from his perspective." Then my cousin Trevor texted, "Hey man, I know things are crazy with the wedding drama, but while you're up, can you spot me $2,000? I'm in a tight spot and I know you just got that promotion." I deleted it without responding. Meanwhile, Connor's best man Chris texted, asking if I could coordinate the rehearsal dinner logistics since I was already handling everything else. "Sure, Chris. I'll coordinate the dinner for the wedding I'm not invited to." 2 weeks before the wedding, I got a call from Victoria's mom. First time she'd ever contacted me directly. "I wanted to thank you for being so gracious about the guest arrangements. Victoria was worried there might be hard feelings." "Not a problem. We just want everything to be perfect for our daughter. I'm sure you can appreciate how important these occasions are for a family's standing in the community." Family's standing. Right. "I'm sure it'll be a beautiful day." "Well, that's certainly thanks to all your help, dear. Connor tells me you've handled everything beautifully. Very professional of you." I hung up feeling like I needed a shower. That night, I sent the acceptance email for the London position, confirmed my start date, signed the relocation paperwork. Then I started looking at flights to Japan. Week-long trip. Leave 2 days before the wedding. Get back a few days after. Booked it. Business class. Non-refundable. Ethan called the next day. Did you actually book Japan? How did you know? Your mom called my mom freaking out. Apparently Connor told her you won't be around for last-minute wedding support because you're leaving the country. That's accurate. Beautiful. What's the plan? Cancel everything the morning I leave. Let them figure it out while I'm eating ramen in Tokyo. Cold, efficient, professional. I love it. Need a favor though. Can you keep tabs on what's happening while I'm gone? Don't want to deal with calls and texts, but I want to know what's going down. I'll be your eyes and ears. Full intel pipeline. This is going to be satisfying. I spent the next few days finalizing everything. Confirmed my Japan itinerary. Confirmed my London relocation timeline. Updated my will to remove my parents and Connor. Then I pulled together every piece of documentation about the wedding. Created a digital folder with every contract, every receipt, every email, every text message. Backed it up 3 places. If this went legal, I was covered. The Thursday before the wedding, I had dinner with my parents. They asked if I was excited about Connor's big day. I said of course. My mom mentioned I seemed distant lately. I said work was busy. My dad said I should try to spend more time with family. I said I'd make it a priority. I left that dinner knowing it was probably the last normal conversation we'd have for a long time. The next morning, Friday, 2 days before the Sunday wedding, I started canceling. I woke up at 6 a.m. Friday morning, made coffee, opened my laptop, and pulled up my vendor list. My flight to Japan left at 8 that evening. 14 hours to dismantle a $37,000 wedding. First call, Riverside Estate. Patricia answered, my main contact for 3 weddings there. Patricia, I need to cancel the Sunday booking for Connor and Victoria. A pause. Cancel? Their wedding is in 2 days. I'm the contract holder. Exercising my cancellation rights. Typing. Okay, the contract is under your name. Since it's within 72 hours, you forfeit all payments plus a $2,000 late penalty. Total loss, $10,000. Process it. You're certain? They'll have no venue. I'm certain. Email the confirmation. A few minutes later, she returned. All set. I'm sorry it didn't work out. Thanks, Patricia. Second call, Bellamy & Co. Catering. Michelle, I need to cancel the Sunday wedding. Oh no, did something happen? Change of plans. Full cancellation. Typing. You forfeit the $5,000 deposit and owe an additional $3,000 in late fees. Total loss, $8,000. Approved. We already ordered the food yesterday. I know. Cancel anyway. I'll send confirmation. You've been great to work with, I said, then hung up. Third call, Garden Theory Florals. Simone answered. Hey, finalizing arrangements now. What's up? I need to cancel Sunday. Silence. What? The florals are already in progress. I know, still canceling. After a long exhale, she asked, Is everyone okay? Everyone's alive. What's the damage? You paid $3,000. With labor and materials already in motion, add $1,500. $4,500 total. Invoice me. This isn't like you, she said softly. First time for everything. Fourth call, Adrian, photography and videography. Let me guess. You're calling about the timeline? He said. Not exactly. I need to cancel. Cancel in 2 days? Another pause. Is someone sick? Just family stuff. I'm canceling the contract. He checked the terms. Inside a week means I keep the $1,800 deposit and charge half the remainder. $900. $2,700 total. That works. He hesitated. Man, hope everything's okay. Fifth call, Soundwave Production. Danny answered, already annoyed. Please don't tell me you're canceling. I am. You're killing me. 2 days, man. I know. What do I owe you? $1,000 deposit, $500 late fee, $1,500 total, and I turned down multiple bookings for you. I'll pay the full amount, he sighed. Invoice coming, 9 more calls, cake, rentals, transportation, hotel blocks, musicians, rehearsal dinner venue, lighting, party favors, a videographer assistant. Every conversation had the same rhythm. My authority as contract holder, their cancellation fees, my request for written confirmation. Some gave partial refunds. Most didn't. By 2 p.m., 14 vendors were canceled. The total contract value had been about $37,000. Between deposits, the fully paid venue, and penalties, I was out roughly $25,000. Money well spent. Connor and Victoria had no idea. I packed my suitcase, passport, charger, clothes, and downloaded podcasts for the flight. Around 4 p.m., Connor texted, Hey, can you confirm headcount with the caterer? I ignored it. A minute later, venue won't pick up about the setup timeline. Did you change something? Deleted. I turned on airplane mode, grabbed my bags, and drove to the airport. Checked in, cleared security, Sat at my gate sipping mediocre terminal coffee, phone still on airplane mode. When we boarded, I settled into my seat. The flight attendant handed me champagne. I turned airplane mode off just long enough to text Ethan. It's done. I'm in the air. Keep me updated when things blow up. Then airplane mode went back on, and I leaned back for 14 uninterrupted hours to Tokyo. I landed at Narita Airport Sunday morning local time, which meant it was Saturday evening back home. Cleared customs, grabbed my bag, took the train into the city, checked into a small hotel in Shibuya. Nothing fancy, clean room, comfortable bed, good location. I took a shower, ordered room service, ate in silence while looking out at the Tokyo skyline, turned on my phone just long enough to see the notifications piling up, dozens of missed calls, endless texts. I turned it back off without reading any of them. Slept for 12 hours straight, woke up Monday morning Tokyo time, which meant it was Sunday evening back home. The wedding would be over by now. I made coffee from the in-room machine and turned off airplane mode. My phone exploded. 97 missed calls, 168 text messages, 25 voicemails. I put it on silent and called Ethan. Was wondering when I'd hear from you. How's Japan? Good. Wedding happened yet? Oh yeah, you missed quite a show. Tell me. So Friday afternoon after you canceled everything, Connor called the venue to confirm setup details. They told him the booking was canceled. He thought it was a mistake. Called back. They confirmed you'd canceled it that morning as the contract holder. He lost his mind. What happened next? He started calling every other vendor. Caterer canceled. Florist canceled. Photographer canceled. Everything. By Friday night, they were in full panic mode. And today. Today was the actual wedding day. Guests started showing up at the venue around 3 this afternoon. Except the venue told them there was no event. About 90 people arrived before someone started mass texting everyone to turn around. But a lot of folks had already traveled in. Hotels booked. Time off work. They were furious. I sat down on the hotel bed. What did Connor and Victoria do? They tried scrambling for replacement vendors. Called every caterer in the area. Everyone was either fully booked or wanted emergency fees that were insane. One place quoted them 15 grand just for basic food service at a park. They tried to get the venue back, but Patricia told them the contract holder had canceled, and she couldn't help them. And they ended up. By Saturday evening, they realized the Sunday reception was completely dead. No venue, no food, no way to pull it together. So they rushed to City Hall that night and got legally married by a judge. Just them and Victoria's parents, and Connor's best man, Chris. No ceremony, no reception, just signed papers. But guests still showed up Sunday. Yeah, they'd sent out cancellation texts and calls, but it was too late. A lot of people had already traveled in, weren't checking messages. About 90 people showed up Sunday afternoon expecting a wedding. Venue staff had to turn them away and explain there was no event. It was a mess. I looked out at the Tokyo skyline. What about Victoria's parents? Here's the interesting part. Victoria's mom was asking questions about why everything got canceled. Someone mentioned you were Connor's brother and the planner. She said something like, the brother planned it? I thought they said he couldn't make it because of work. Then someone else mentioned you paid for everything too. Turns out Connor and Victoria had told her parents they were handling and financing everything themselves. The parents realized they'd been lied to, and they are not happy. They're being really cold to your parents now. So the lie fell apart anyway. Spectacularly. The thing they were trying to avoid by excluding you, looking bad to the in-laws, happened anyway. Just in the worst possible way. Good. We talked for another 20 minutes. Ethan gave me a full breakdown of every family member's reaction. After I hung up, I scrolled through some of the messages. Mom, how could you do this to your brother? Call me immediately. Dad, this is unacceptable. You need to fix this right now. Connor, you're dead to me. I will never forgive you for this. Victoria, you ruined the most important day of my life because you're jealous and bitter. Aunt Linda, family is supposed to support each other. What you did is unforgivable. I deleted every message without responding. I spent the next few days exploring Tokyo, hiking in Nikko, staying at a ryokan in Hakone. Every few hours I'd check in with Ethan for updates. Connor and Victoria trying to plan a makeup reception. My dad threatening to cut me out. Bethany posting screenshots. Victoria's parents staying cold to my parents. Thursday morning Japan time. My phone rang from an unknown international number. Hello? Finally. I've been trying to reach you for days. My mom's voice. I'm in Japan, Mom. I know you're in Japan. You ran away after destroying your brother's wedding. When are you coming home? This weekend. We need to have a family meeting when you get back. You need to apologize. I'm not apologizing. You canceled an entire wedding. He uninvited me. After I planned and paid for everything, he made a reasonable request. And I'm done. With Connor. With the family. with being treated like my only value is what I can provide. So you're abandoning your family. I'm moving to London in 6 weeks for my new job. Silence. London. Got a promotion. Relocating overseas. You can't just leave. Already accepted. What about your family? You made it clear where I stand. Your father and I will not support this. Don't need your support. I hung up. Turned my phone off. Sunday I flew back home. Landed late afternoon. Ethan was waiting for me at arrivals. Welcome back to chaos. My parents and Connor were waiting outside my building entrance when we pulled up. They stood up when they saw me. We need to talk. My dad. No. I walked past them. Connor grabbed my arm. You don't get to walk away. I looked at his hand, then at his face. He let go. You're not coming into my apartment. Yes, we are. My mom. I unlocked the building door. They followed me to the elevator, to my floor, to my apartment door. I turned around. Leave. Stop being childish. My dad tried to push past. I blocked the door frame. Leave, or I call security. Not until we talk about what you did. Connor took $37,000 from me, lied to his in-laws about who planned and paid for everything, then uninvited me so the lie wouldn't get exposed. Victoria confirmed it in writing. They couldn't risk me being thanked publicly or appearing in photos. Then you all expected me to keep working on the wedding anyway. That's not how it happened, Connor. That's exactly how it happened. My mom stepped forward. Please, can we come inside and sit down? We need to work this out as a family. No, I'm done. You're not done. You're upset and you're hurt, but families get through things together. I'm moving to London in 6 weeks. My lease ends in 5 weeks. I'm packing up and leaving, so yeah, done. London. My dad. Got a promotion. Relocating overseas. You didn't tell us. Don't owe you explanations, so you're running away. Connor. I'm leaving because you only value me when I'm useful. My mom's eyes were wet. We love you. Sure. When I'm paying. That's not true. Mom. You agreed Connor should uninvite me. You chose his convenience over my dignity. My dad's face was red. You're throwing a tantrum. I'm setting boundaries. Connor pushed forward. You owe me $25,000. That's what you cost me. I laughed. I lost $25,000 in deposits and penalties. That's what I paid out of pocket. You lost nothing because you never paid for anything in the first place. I'll sue you. For what? Canceling contracts in my name. Go ahead. I'll show up with every email where you asked me to keep planning after you uninvited me. Every text where Victoria called me an embarrassment. Every receipt. Connor stepped toward me. My dad grabbed his arm. Leave. All of you. We're not done. Yes, we are. I stepped back and closed the door. Locked it. Listened to them argue in the hallway. Eventually they left. I sat on the couch. Blocked my mom. Blocked my dad. Blocked Connor. Blocked Victoria. Blocked Aunt Linda. Blocked Uncle Paul. Blocked Bethany. Changed my number. Texted Ethan the new number. Changed my number. You and a few work contacts have it. Don't give it out. Copy that. They tried every channel after that. I ignored everyone. Monday, my assistant Laura said Connor called 3 times demanding my cell. She shut him down. My building manager said my dad tried to bribe him for a key to my apartment. $500. He declined and called police. Wednesday morning, my mom got removed from my building by police after buzzing my apartment repeatedly at 7 a.m. Thursday, I filed a formal no trespass notice with my building. Added my parents and Connor to the do not admit list with photos. I had movers come estimate my London shipment. Monday, 2 weeks before my move, HR called me in. We received a concerning call from someone claiming to be your father. Said you're having a mental health crisis. Said we should do a wellness check. Suggested you might be unstable. I sat down. I'm not having a crisis. I'm relocating to London. My family is upset and interfering. We have no concerns, but I wanted you to know. Also, he tried to get your personal info. We didn't provide it. This is a family boundary issue that's escalating. We've flagged your file. We've added your family to our do not admit list. Future contact attempts will be shut down. Thanks. Wednesday, I got a notification from my bank. Someone tried to access my account using my SSN and mother's maiden name. Bank blocked it. Investigated. Added extra security. Friday. 1 week before my move, movers came. Packed everything. 7 years in boxes headed to a shipping container. Saturday morning, I did the final walkthrough. Handed over keys. Saturday afternoon, I drove to Ethan's place for my last few days. Ready? Yeah. Tuesday evening, Ethan drove me to the airport. Stay in touch. Will do. Thanks for everything. I checked my bags, went through security, boarded the plane, turned off my phone, left. I'd been in London for 3 weeks when Ethan emailed. They found your office address. Your mom posted asking if anyone has London contacts. Someone gave her your company info. I forwarded it to London HR. Family members may attempt unauthorized contact. Please flag and do not provide access. HR responded, noted. Security alerted. 2 days later, my assistant knocked during a meeting. Security called. 3 people in the lobby asking for you. No appointment. Security is handling it. I called security. The 3 visitors aren't authorized. Please ask them to leave. Already done, sir. They claimed family emergency. We've escorted them out. They're on the street outside. Thank you. An hour later, my assistant came back. They're still outside watching the entrance. I finished my workday, left through the back employee entrance. The next morning, I came through the front entrance. Saw them immediately. My mom, my dad, Connor, at a coffee shop across the street, waiting. They saw me, started to get up. I swiped into my building. Door locked. My dad pressed against the glass. Please, just talk to us. I walked to the elevator, got to my desk and called security. The 3 people from yesterday are back outside. They followed me. We'll handle it. That afternoon, they flew back to the States. Ethan confirmed. I settled into London. New job, new apartment, new city, made friends with colleagues, explored neighborhoods, found good coffee shops, joined a gym, no family contact, no drama. Several months passed. Then one evening, my phone rang. Number I didn't recognize, but it was Ethan's area code. I answered. Hello? It's me, Connor's voice. How did you get this number? I'm in London. I called Ethan. Told him I've been in therapy. Told him I needed to make this right. He gave me your number. I'm at a coffee shop near your office, please. 5 minutes. I should have hung up. Instead, I said, where? He gave me the address. 10-minute walk. I walked over. Connor was at a corner table. He looked different, thinner, tired. I sat down without saying anything. Thank you for coming. I didn't respond. I've been in therapy since the divorce finalized, trying to figure out why I treat people like garbage. Therapist asked me to make a list of people I've hurt. Your name was at the top. I couldn't just call. I had to do this right, so I flew here. What do you want, Connor? I want you to know I get it now. I get that I used you. I get that mom and dad enabled me. I get that you spent your whole life being second place, and I took advantage of that. The wedding wasn't the problem. The wedding was just the moment you finally had enough. He pulled out a folded piece of paper. This is a check for $25,000. It's what you lost in cancellation fees. Took me months to save it. You don't have to take it, but I need you to know I'm taking responsibility. He slid it across the table. I looked at it. Didn't touch it. I don't want your money, Connor. I know, but I need to give it anyway. You can't buy back what you destroyed. I know, but I have to try. Silence. Why now? Because it took me this long to understand. Took losing Victoria. Took losing my job. Took moving back with mom and dad and realizing how toxic that is. Took therapy. Took hitting bottom. What do you want from me? Nothing. I just needed to look you in the eye and tell you I'm sorry and I was wrong. I looked at my brother. I don't forgive you. He nodded. I understand. And I'm not coming back. Not to the family. Not to being the backup plan. I wouldn't expect you to, but I'll take the money. I picked up the check. Not because it fixes anything, because you should pay for what you took. Fair. And maybe in a few years, if you actually change, we can have coffee again. But not now. Okay? I stood up. How long are you in London? Flying back tonight. Just came for this. Good luck, Connor. I walked out. I deposited the check. I blocked the number. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel and help us bring you more and better stories. Thanks.